So our next guest is Liba Rubenstein. I had a chance to meet Liba digitally, of course, first. If you don't know Liba, you'll be introduced to her several times probably over the course of the next couple days. Liba heads the outreach and community initiatives at Tumblr, one of our partners for MCON, partnering with us on MCON ideas at tumblr.com. Liba, thanks. How are you?
I'm great. So happy to be here.
I know. Thank you. Good to see you. So, Liba, there's this thing called Tumblr.
I've heard of it.
For some of us who don't know, what is Tumblr?
Tumblr is one of the leading social platforms out there. We call it social blogging, which sounds a little bit like new media mumbo jumbo, but it's actually very descriptive about what the product does. So unlike, it sort of functions like traditional social media, but also it's a publishing platform. So you can build websites on Tumblr. You can control exactly how your content appears, fully multimedia, just like MCON ideas. Yeah. And then you're plugged into a network of 200 million other blogs that can share the content within the network.
So that's the number, 200 million. How many people are in Tumblr right now?
Yeah, well, there are 200 million blogs, but then depending on what numbers you use, about 300 billion page views a month, and that includes all of the web traffic as well. So so you have the folks at MCON Ideas who are sharing your content within Tumblr, but then you also have all your web visitors who come from your website or from searching the tag on Twitter or anywhere else. So there's sort of two sides of the platform, and that makes it huge.
So I love one of the parts of your job is to probably look across the platform and see some really cool things and talk about those.
Yeah.
So what do you see, I mean, as you look across all of these blogs, pages, all of that, what's really good content like on Tumblr?
Well, I think really good content on Tumblr is like really good content, period.
Yeah.
And a lot of what we talk about is as PBS tries to do, great storytelling for social good, stories that have an impact, stories that inspire action. My focus is on social impact and public policy, so I'm looking at those particular types of actions and impacts as well. And I think because Tumblr is fully multimedia and doesn't have the sort of creative constraints of some other social networks, it's really just good content. Right. Is good content on Tumblr.
Visual.
Certainly visual, and again, that's true across all of social media right now, but you're not limited to a square image, and you're not limited to 140 characters. So you have a lot more options in a lot of ways, which can be, it's both really exciting and sometimes really intimidating because you have so many choices. Yeah.
And so lately there's been some exciting stuff. President Obama does his piece on Tumblr. Talk about that. Yes. And how did that all happen? And
yeah, well, it's been a big week, sort of unexpectedly.
As we've been trading a lot
leading
of emails.
into MCON, obviously, that's clearly where the momentum came from. We did our very first Tumblr town hall at the White House with President Obama last week. The topic was college access and affordability in student loans. This is part of the White House's broader strategy of engaging on social, very, very successfully, but also acknowledging that Tumblr uniquely over-indexes for millennials. About almost 50% of our audience is between 18 and 35. So, we're talking about a harder to reach young adult audience that is particularly affected by student loan issues in the U.S. And so that's why we were sort of the right partner for that. And we accepted questions through Tumblr. We had sort of key bloggers helping to curate the questions, and then our CEO presented them live to the president. And we also managed to cover some other topics like LGBT and especially transgender rights, which is really important to our community, as well as gun control, which made a lot of news that day, as there had been tragically yet another school shooting that morning. So
do you think that we'll do more of these?
Yeah, well, we actually just yesterday, about like immediately after the president, we went into a partnership with CNN, which is our first big sort of broadcast news partnership, on their town hall with Hillary Clinton yesterday on her book tour. So they also, Christiana Mampour, very elegantly, said Tumblr like 10 times in the hour, and took questions from Tumblr as well that the former First Lady and Secretary of State answered, which was
so Tumblr is. I mean, we're seeing some really new and unique things happening with Tumblr, right? So we're seeing this live stuff and so on, which has to be exciting for you guys.
Oh, it's hugely exciting. I mean, I think Tumblr is both really new and really retro in a lot of ways. It harkens back to sort of early parts of the internet, resuscitating the animated GIF, which is a 27-year-old format that's now kind of become like a new art form, the new political cartoon. Yeah. It's potentially anonymous. We don't collect a lot of information about our users, and people really love in this particular environment that we're in right now that they can use a handle and are not easily trackable. So there are things that sort of harken back to the old school internet, but obviously with the most beautiful, simple, easy to use technology. So I think we're uniquely set up to take advantage of this moment and what people want and need out of their digital experience.
Excellent. So in terms of social causes, because that's what we'll be talking about today, whether you're a business, company, nonprofit, whatever, how do you see or what do you anticipate from millennials on your platform doing?
Yeah, well, I mean, again, I think millennials on our platform represent millennials. Yeah. I would say the difference is that we see ourselves as a very creative community, and so the kind of core user base are people who are driving the conversation. They're not just consumers; they're also creators, and so you see a lot of the trends kind of start on Tumblr that then extend elsewhere, and things that enter into the zeitgeist. Memes that start on Tumblr that sort of become part of the larger conversation. So that's very exciting, and I think millennials are driving a lot of that.
Cool. Thank you so much for being here and being the partner with us this year.
It's very exciting.
Great.